Yes, y'all. Welcome to
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
If you have opinions or queries you wish to share, we have multiple ways to be reached. The email address for the show is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. On Twitter, it's at skimpod, SKIMPOD.
Stays Crunchy.
And if you're feeling froggy, go on and jump into our voicemail line at 216-3028-POD. That's 216-302-8763. The show can be heard on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, and as always at our website, stayscrunchyandmilk.com.
Stays Crunchy.
Please rate, review, subscribe, and share the show on your own social media feeds. And if you want to get at us directly, feel free to reach out via our personal Twitter.
Stays.
It's at Tatum216, Lunchbox 2099, The Real ODP, and I'm your host, Tabrail713.
Stays Crunchy and Milk.
Whew, Lord, people. We back at it. Stays Crunchy Milk, episode 277. He says this because he went and checked before we came through here this time. He made a point. He's like, let me go look so I can say the right number. It's getting a little easier at this point because the way we record is, I'm usually not editing a week of, but just a week out from. So I got a good flow going. Well, we out here doing a damn thing at comfy confines of 200 Public Square. There's a light day today. It's very quiet in here, which is abnormal. But you probably hear the far-off waterfall of the, what is that, a fountain? Yeah, the fountain.
Probably hear me chewing right now, too.
You gotta chew that loud. It's not, plus, that's all soft. You had something crispy. Like the mic do pick up, when you be crunching on fries, it'll get you. And I know out for whatever reason, well, I guess I've been listening to it for like years at this point. I know your mouth moves. So I'll be like, that's Box. That was Anthony sniffling or snuffling or whatever. That was Gabe saying something, like, or whatever. It's like I can hear it all, and I just have to chuckle at it. Like I can pick out everybody's whatever. I can pick out my little nervous laugh. It's just like boom, 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 boom. Looking at sound waves all the time. Yeah, you just kind of recognize stuff. I don't even want to. I'm tired in the way that I'm like, whew. And I got a lot of weekend ahead of me. My junior turns 15 tomorrow from the day we record this. And he's having a set, and we're going to go out tonight as a little family and do some things. And last night, I went to the midnight release of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, so he could have it for his birthday. I guess I technically just went and got it today, but I like going to midnights. What was a delight about last night was the Game Awards was happening at the same time, so going toward, when I had to get over to the store. And so they be making surprise announcements the whole time. Announcers like, oh. But you wonder what's going to be in this instance, the affecting Nintendo announcement. Mm-hmm. And so they announced a character for a game. Some dude in line in front of me, they was bugging out about it. I was like, man, who the fuck is coming to this game? And I thought they was joking because they mentioned the game, and I was like, that's a Persona character, and that's a game that's not even on a Nintendo system. Like, what is y'all talking about? Mm-hmm. But sure as shit, because the way Best Buy does this, they'll let you in like 11:30. Yeah. But you can't go nowhere until midnight. You can go in, buy the game, but you got to hang in the store until it's time to go. until basically the clock go off at night. And so I'm sitting there in line with Vanessa, or I'm sitting there waiting to go, and I'm like, let me pull this video up and see what they talking about. And sure as shit, they had announced a strange new character for the game. And I was like, I love being amongst gamers. It's a weird dork contingent that I really I dig. I don't go to midnight opens too much no more. I went last year for Mario, and I went this year for Smash, so I do it for Nintendo stuff. But the whole dork in me is still very much present, and I dig it. And I dig when I come across weird shit like that. So I'm very tired right now. And I was just at my desk kind of like leaning. I was like, I am legit falling asleep. Let me get up and go make a show.
Yeah, the fresh air probably did you some good.
Actually, probably did. Just knock some sense into me. And so, here we are. I'm with the crew. That's Tatum216.
Sometimes.
Lunchbox 2099.
Yep.
And of course, I am your host, Tabrail713, and we doing it. Oh, yeah. By the time you hear this, the episode of Swatches and Boom Boxes I was on will have been released. We were discussing Smooth the Hustlers, Once Upon a Time in America. I had a bunch of fun with those guys, Neil Charles and Jim Search. That's I don't know, it's just delightful. It's always nice to talk shop with some guys and And so we did. And so go get that episode. I'll put the notes in the show notes, and of course it's been all over Twitter by the time you hear this, because I'm gonna make that move because I can't help myself. So that's show business. What's on and popping in y'all world?
Something interesting happened last night, and please listen to this whole story before you judge my lady here. So we were talking about I forgot how we got on the subject. We were talking about when we before we had kids, some of the stuff we used to do, and we were talking about we had went to this place called the Bellamore Suites. And this is how it started. We were watching Beat Bobby Flay,
okay.
And they made some Ossobuco.
Was what?
It's lamb shanks, and
That's a Greek word, even though it sounds Spanish.
And okay, we went there and we were. It was Christmas Eve, and everything was closing early, so we went to this Italian restaurant that was near there, and I ordered something normal, and she ordered Ossobuco. Something she had never had in her life before. And then we get to the hotel or the suites, and she doesn't like it at all, and everything else is closed. So, it was just like whatever food we had is what we had, and that was gonna be it. And that was her first journey into Ossobuco, and then I don't know how or what happened, but I just got violently throwing up and stuff. But I just felt like a wave of a cold or flu came over me, and I just got super sick, and I got in the pajamas, got in the bed, and sweated like I've never sweated in my life. The room was nice. It had a fireplace and stuff like that. But luckily, I bought 2 pairs of pajamas because I sweated like I never sweated before. And by the next day, I was fine. But she didn't remember. That's all she remembered. She remembered the bad Ossobuco. She remembered me being real sick, just out of nowhere. But I was just like, don't you remember the second day? She's like, no. So the next day, we went to the casino. I played the Michael Jackson machine you suggested. I won $100. We had some real good ass chicken fingers. You had some good food. And we had a real good night the next day. You didn't remember that? She just didn't. And it was just that first day was just so bad that she had forgot the second day.
It scarred over the good time.
Yeah, the good time we had. The next day we got up, we had Waffle House. It wasn't it wasn't much else open, but Waffle House would give you a good meal. Mm-hmm. And then we tried to watch Lord of the Rings. That she probably didn't like that part. I fell asleep. But sometimes to make a long story short, remember as a whole, people. Try to bring it all around, because she had completely forgot about the good time we had that time, because that first day did suck bad as hell. But we came around and I was like, yeah, we did have a good time. She's like, oh yeah, that did happen. I'm like, yeah.
So Vanessa has a memory like a steel trap.
Okay.
It's I don't know, elephant good. I don't know what to fucking say, bro. I don't. Stuff will come around and you can we were talking, you were like, you remember this dude? Not in the least. That dude you're talking about, the Tom Cruise. I was like, we worked with that dude for a stretch. I should have knew him.
We really didn't work with him. The only reason I remember him is because Josh told me about a time about he had went out with his girlfriend and he got beat up for no reason. And he had to come to work the next day with a fucked up face.
Yeah. Well, I just said, I know I have a terrible memory, and so it's so when it comes to things like that, she'd be like, I can't believe you don't remember that. That was such a sweet thing to me, and it means so much to me. And it's a memory that's non-existent to me, and she'd be taking such high offense to it. I'm just like, you gotta not be offended by this, because I just got a terrible memory. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
I know I got a terrible memory. How come you can't accept that?
But see, that's the thing though. You don't have a terrible memory. You have a selective memory, but it's not your fault.
Yeah.
So what probably is bothering her is that why do you remember that Lisa Simpson's doll name is Malibu Stacy, but you don't remember that you met my friend's boyfriend before?
I can't call it, man. Some things, like I said, I remember when we met Chris Kattan. That was a funny night. It was a really weird situation at that time.
It was a funny night.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we met Dave Coulier?
I do.
Or I remember a time. It really doesn't matter because I'm not with this person. But I remember I straight up and down introduced you to a girl I had dated. I dated her for about 6 or 7 months, and then we had seen her out on the street, and she was like, "Oh, hey, T," and then he was just like, "Oh, hey," and then I was like, "Man, you ain't remember her?" He was like, "No, not in the least." And I was just like, I mean, I couldn't be mad about it. It's not like I was still with her or nothing like that. But you had met her, and she was just like, "T didn't remember me." And I was like, I know he had probably knew you for years, but knew you was the thing.
Yeah, bro. If it's not regularly feeding my brain, I just can't call it, man. So we flip it another way. I'm talking to my son last night. I was like, if I recall correctly, about 15 years ago around this time, we was in the hospital waiting for your little punk ass to come on. But you wasn't trying to be nice. You wasn't trying to lead the comfy confines of your mama. And he just laughed at me and he chuckled. He was like, I don't remember that, Dad. I'm like, well, yeah, you wouldn't, son. But I remember because we were in the hospital like 3 days before my kid ended up being induced. So, but no, they tried to induce. He wouldn't come. They had to go get his ass. He was not trying to make moves.
Yeah.
Some memories work that way, I guess.
Yeah, being in the hospital. I mean, I don't know if anybody's here like been in the hospital for an extended time. It sucks.
Yeah.
And it's just hospitals are like a little world. Like at Rainbows, like I think was it Bugers down there?
It was Burgers Bakers, yeah.
It sucks. Like if you get in that bitch on the weekend, you gonna get nothing to eat.
Yeah.
Because it's open 24 hours Monday through Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday.
Whole
just
court.
Closed. Like you nice to me all like this, and then these 2 fucking days you're not open no more. It's a weird thing. Like I can depend on you until you can't no more.
Until you can't. There you go. That's real. You better hit them snack machines.
Yeah, that's like
and Rainbow, got some nice snack machines. They got a whole kosher little section. They heat your food up. I'm just saying.
it's like but like I don't drink diet stuff.
Yeah.
Like they'll have one water, but then it's like, oh, we got all this nice aspartame for you here. But it's just don't try to take care of yourself. And if your lady pregnant, make sure she work out every day until that 8th month, so you don't gotta be there all that time. I'm just kidding. Do whatever you want.
It's all good. You got any memory entanglements in your brain, or you good about how's your mind when it comes to things? You got like a steel memory, or you got like a
it waves
on the situation.
How much I cared.
Okay.
What can you say is your earliest memory?
It's gonna take me a second here. I remember going behind my grandmother's old beat up yellow couch and pushing it forward with my legs while my dad and mom sat on it.
Nice.
How strong did you feel?
I don't remember the feeling, but I remember the action because I remember going back there too with like this Ninja Turtle toy that was like a visor that could see around like a telescope that could see around corners.
A periscope.
Yeah. Periscope, telescope, whatever. Yeah, that's probably the earliest thing I really remember.
I got a good early couch memory too. I remember Thriller being on, and me and Scarabide hiding behind the couch. And so that was like 1984, 1985. I was 4 years old.
I have a blurry memory of being at my mama's friend's house and hanging with her daughter. And this had to be Michigan because just whatever. So that was like 1 through 5. And us discovering her goldfish had straight dipped out the tank.
Oh, wow.
And was, laying there dead as fuck, and her being super upset about it. But just it's the haziest of memories. Like I can't correct nothing about that situation. I just remember the orange goldfish kind of like it's like a black and white memory except for the goldfish, you know.
Yeah.
So it's like.
So what year do you think that was? You know, it was between 1 and 5.
So between the reality is probably more like
3, 4,
78, 79. You know what I'm saying? That's what it had to be. We literally left Michigan in 1980. We moved back to my mama's people in 1980. So. For that to have happened, it had to have been like, I had to be 3, 4, 5 going in that direction. Well, I guess I turned 5 in 80, so 3 or 4. And like I said, definitely is a Michigan memory. So 78, 79, around that time. So
it's amazing. My son's only 3. He'll be 4 in March. But he remembers like bullshit. I'm like, why do you remember that? Like I said, that's such in passing. Like... I'm not gonna say don't say nothing to him if you don't want him to hear it, but we were walking and he was only 1 year old when this happened. I was like, we seen a rabbit here once. This is where we seen a rabbit. And every time we walk past that house, he's like, there's still rabbits over there? I'm like, nah, I haven't seen a rabbit since that day. You got me. But yeah, it's funny that the stuff that they remember or choose to. But I guess that's how memories are.
We'll be right back after these messages.
You ever see a product on the shelf and wonder how was that? Well, you have to wonder no more, because we at Skim will bring you
We tried.
No longer do you have to say, was that soda good? Because
We tried it for you.
you ever see those brand new fries at Taco Bell and then think, I won't waste my time.
Damn, those were delicious.
Those were damn good. What about that naked chicken chalupa, the new spicier edition? We tried it.
How was it?
It was pretty good.
I was curious, and I haven't had it.
I enjoyed it. If you're looking for some entertainment,
The way that only we can provide, who else out there do you know that can compare Oreos to bad sex? No one, that's who.
nobody. Like Keith Sweat, nobody, baby.
Who can review you like me?
Nobody.
Who can tell you what we eat?
Nobody. You can find that on our newly established Patreon. You go to Patreon / Stage Crunchy and Milk. And that's Crunchy with a K.
Make sure you throw a .com in there so you don't get lost in the neighborhood.
And now back to Skip.
Are you guys, so a couple things have been popping up. We had this discussion at work. Are any holiday movies you guys are looking forward to watching? Or
I watched Love Actually the other day.
I seen that. What about you, Lunch?
Not really, no. If I'm being honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the movies you lean toward any traditions that you like. I like to do this around this time of year.
No.
Like
Have eggnog? Are you gonna get some rum with it? Is it rum you drink with eggnog?
Yes.
Or? Okay.
I mean, I've only been on my own for a little while now, so I don't have anything. I mean, I know that sounds sad as shit, but
No. It sounds as if maybe it's time to establish something. What if you thought about it? Would you like? I wouldn't mind doing that every year. Maybe watching. I don't know the third Harry Potter movie, whichever one the best one in your opinion is. Like
Or
you know
Die
what I'm
Hard?
saying? I do watch Die Hard. Actually, Die Hard is actually probably gonna happen at some point this weekend. So, like, I don't know. Give me maybe establish yourself a tradition of the season if you are so inclined. I listened to Covain by Cannibal Ox. It's a winter ass album, and like I said, I watch all these movies and stuff. And I'm a guy who I didn't have traditions as I came up, so I've invented traditions as a grown up. So I don't know if you are, like I said, if that seems like something that scratches your itch, maybe it's time for you to establish a tradition or two to say, put your flag in some shit. So this is what I do.
Yeah, it was funny. I went to the Ronald McDonald House in Cleveland to help bake cookies, and we had chocolate chip and one people that they did that on that side of the kitchen, and we were making just like pre-made sugar cookies. And like I started, we were putting them in the oven, and I was just taking them off the cookie sheet. And it was like, you're amazing at that. It's like, this is the job I was born to do. I've been, that's one thing. We made cookies all the time.
Yeah.
Every year, and One thing I hated as a kid, because my brother was old enough to say no, and my mother was in the kitchen making shit, was putting up the Christmas tree and like, fluffing it up and stuff. I just got tired of doing that shit. This is like, man, I get.
Well, that's why I don't do any of that stuff, because I don't have anyone in my house. I'm alone. Like, so what's the point of me putting up a tree?
I mean, I think if
decorating it and then taking it down. I'm by myself. I'm the only one that's gonna see the thing.
But that's the thing. I'm saying if that's what you want to do, it would be something just for you. Like maybe you could, hey, I'm gonna put up a stocking. I'm gonna put some juicy fruit in there just for me.
The thing I struggle with when it comes to the holidays really is when the fuck is it okay to throw away the Christmas cards?
I don't. I keep them. I keep every card almost ever had.
Whereas I in recent years I came to a point where I was like, I've gotten what love I can out of it. So I get Christmas cards. I got my first one came maybe 2 weeks ago, and it's on the mantle right now. When Christmas comes down, Christmas cards go, and that's just what I have to do.
Well, you know what? With the word cards, I tend to throw them away. But if it says some shit in there like, "Man, we had a good year. That basketball you got me was fucking nice," but if it's just like Paula,
yeah,
I might throw it away a couple days later. Like. It depends. It depends on what the card says. Or like, it's not a big deal to just to toss them away. It depends on who it's from and what's inside.
Yeah,
I feel like that too. Like when I get a card for like, oh, thanks for coming to our wedding. You're welcome. Okay.
Whereas like, so I got a thank you card from attending Lish and Jen's wedding. So it was on the fridge for a while. Like I said, just a little bit of like, cool, man. And then when like it's time for a general, like, okay, it's time to remove the old coupons. And,
yeah,
mail.
It's not October 31st anymore.
Yeah. I just like I said, it just got to slide on. And that for years, like I had all the cards I ever had, all of them hoes. And this is like, I was like, yo, it's time to. We got to move on with this. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's why I donated all that stuff today. It was all just sitting there, doing nothing. I didn't really care. So it was time for it to find new ownership.
There you go. And who knows? Maybe that's a tradition. Maybe that is the tradition. Maybe it is once a year.
Shit throughout the year that I don't need.
No, not that. Just a bit of a end of the year reassess and clean up. You know?
Well, like, hey, like I'm gonna find a good use for this, or you know what I was thinking? I really enjoy doing that cookie bake. Maybe I could find like a place on Christmas or Thanksgiving that I take a few hours and I'll actually make a family a meal or something like that. Like I'm not really that. I mean, I guess I'm handy with some stuff, but I would like to do something like that where it's like, take some time and do something for other than myself.
Yeah.
And with some people, I don't care if they appreciate it or not. That's not the point. It's just to do something. Maybe that can be a tradition. Like, you know what? I am going to take some time and.
They have donated to that like the last 3 years.
Yeah. I was thinking of like I shouldn't even say this. You might be able to cut this out. I was thinking of a non-profit. You know how you like Uber and Lyft? Like, maybe if we could find a way to donate you giving somebody a ride without it like being like I'm in an emergency, I need to get here, like I got a job interview, I don't have no way to get here, could you please help, like donate time that way. Like an app for that, like in need of a ride, something like
we'll
that.
jazz it up and post.
Yeah. But like not like Uber where you like you gotta pay like, hey, I can take and for this block of time I can take people from here to here and that's it.
Yeah.
And if you need a ride I can be there for you.
Yeah.
Without you stabbing me and without me stabbing you. But alright.
And same thing. You establish a system of ratings and stuff like that there. It works. The system that works, and if you could do it what's the word I'm looking for? I guess not philosophically, philanthropically.
Yeah.
I think it's even better.
And maybe like we'll get paid through like sponsors, like, hey, Walmart sponsored you this ride from here to here.
Oh yeah, it's good stuff, man. Start scrolling that down.
All right, back to the podcast.
Well, my man Daniel's son here, like, so we recording late this week. Because once he had to go on an adventure. Came to me, saw me the morning he got in, like, look, I got adventures to go on today. We gonna talk about it on the show. Then the next day we just got involved with some work shit. So today we here recording, and I'd like to hear about these adventures because it was like you really set me up. And I'm sitting here like, ooh, what's this going to be? So please, sir, a little story time with you about you.
So I had bowling on Tuesday, and one of my buddies on the bowling team is the IT manager for a company in the area.
Yeah.
And he was telling us that the next day he had to come downtown and attend. It was kind of like a seminar. What it was a company was down here basically doing a sales pitch to all these local companies to try and get them to sign up to use their service, software and tech support and stuff like that. So we were joking with them like, oh, you should bring us with you, because like the seminar was going to be at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Oh, pretty much where we are.
Yeah, like when he told us, like he was like telling us where he was coming down for Steakhouse, I started naming them all off, and I get to like Ruth's Chris. He's like, yeah, it's that one. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna be in that building at the same time tomorrow, because I thought we were gonna be here to record this podcast.
Yeah.
And my other buddy who was on the team, he's like, oh yeah, I go to that gym in the afternoon. He's like, oh man, you guys should come. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll come to Ruth's Chris and get a free steak. So he's like, yeah, shit. He's like, I'll put you on the list. I was like, all right, yeah, let's do this. He's like, you guys just gotta like dress up a little bit. I was like, I can do that. So he got on his phone and he went and he added me and my buddy to the guest list, like under him. And then, so like we were joking about it, and I'm like thinking in my mind, like, this ain't really gonna happen. You know, we're just fucking around.
Yeah.
The next morning, like, I get up and he's like, hey, I'm making you guys ID badges. So he's like, give me a good picture to use for my buddy.
Yeah.
He went and got one off my Instagram. He used a picture of when I was bald with a big beard before my buddy's wedding, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So I got in the shower. I went in the bathroom. I shaved, took a shower, got dressed. I wore a shirt and tie with like a sweater on it, so I could look kind of like IT official. And came down to work, and we had my buddy take a picture of himself so he could send it to him for the ID badge. So my buddy took the Rapid down. He met us down in Tower City at like 11:45. Hands us ID badges for his company with our pictures on them. And we come over here to this building, go down to Ruth's Chris, and we go up to the check-in table, and he tells him his name, what company we're all with, and they didn't really have him, like, they had like lanyards for people, like with like the plastic ones where you put slips of paper in them. Mm-hmm. For some reason they didn't have one for him, and then they had to make one for all of us.
Oh.
And they were talking about how good the turnout was, and he's like, oh, how many people were you inviting? He's like, oh, well, honestly, we don't turn anybody away. So he's like, as long as people just show up, you know, it's all good. So we go into the waiter who had taken us upstairs, so we didn't know where to go.
Yeah.
He handed us each a little menu, and we each had to pick our entree. So we all picked steak. And we go in, and the presentation had already like been going on. Mm-hmm. They had like a projector, so we had to stand at the front of the room for a few minutes because all the seats were taken. They had to go find us a little 4-seater table. Mm-hmm. So there was like some young dude who was sitting there waiting on a table. So the four of us got seated. They brought a table in, placed it at the front of the room.
Oh, wow.
So we were right next to the projector, and we're all sitting at the table. And I'm just like staring off into the distance because my buddy had told us the day before. He's like, just stay quiet, don't like do a lot of talking. He's like, just sit there, and if anyone asks you where you work, you tell them this, and you know, just keep it to a minimum. And I'm sitting there, and I'm listening to everything that the person's, you know, pitching to these companies, and I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, I know all this because this is all the shit that our company uses. So I'm like, man, if anyone tries to talk to me about this shit, I got this in the bag. I know all about this. So we're sitting there and just sitting there, and they bring us a salad, and then our steaks come out, and they bring they do like family style sides. So we had au gratin potatoes, and steamed broccoli, But at this point, we had been there. We had sat through like 4 different parts of the pitch from 4 different people. And it was like I'd been gone from my real job for like an hour and a half.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
So like they were like about to bring out dessert, and what so they'd finished this pitch and they were bringing out dessert, and they told us that like they were gonna give us like a half hour to eat dessert and mingle with everybody and fill out some survey cards and stuff. And at that point I was like, hey man, we gotta make the great escape, we gotta get the fuck out of here. So they had like free stuff on the table, so I grabbed a pair of Game Over socks. My buddy took some Oregon Trail socks, and then we dipped out, and I hustled back to work. And now when I came in the morning, my boss had seen how I was dressed, and he's like, what's going on? So I was like, all right, here man, here's the deal. And I told him what was going down, and he's like, oh shit. So when I come back, like, I was hustling back to work, because I'm being honest, I was late.
Yeah.
He sees me trying to hustle to my desk. He's like, no. You come over here. I was like, oh, fuck, I'm busted. So then I go over to his office. I was like, hey, what's up? He goes, you can't hustle in here and not tell me how it was. So I tell him, and he's like, so you actually got a steak? I was like, yeah, I got an 8-ounce filet. They overcooked it, but I couldn't complain because it was free and I wasn't supposed to be there. And at this point, my buddy had came back too, because we were like a minute apart because he stopped to go to the bathroom, whereas I was like, I'm a camel bladder this because I'm already too late. So we told him how it went and everything, and he was laughing. So I go back to my desk and I log into my computer and I start working. And the one woman who sits like 2 seats in front of me, she turns around and asks me what I did for lunch. So I told her I went to Ruth's Chris. Mm-hmm. And she goes, they're open for lunch? I'm like, nope. So then I tell her and the other 3 women that all sit around me, because I'm surrounded by women. Yeah. I told them all what happened, what I did. They were all cackling, laughing. And then they were like interrogating me about how it was and how did I do that and everything. And they're like, you know, we saw you when you came in this morning, how nicely you were dressed. We wanted to ask what was going on, but we didn't want to pry. They're like, now next time you come in dressed nice, we're just going to assume that you're trying to sneak into another lunch.
I'm trying to eat good. Holy cow. That is amazing.
You know, that's one thing I miss about, like, I mean, I see you guys every day, but that's one thing I miss about having friends. Like, all my friends live out of town now.
Yeah.
Like, my one friend, Sean, live in North Carolina. Or, Brian, who's been on this almost all our shows, lives in Columbus. My other friend, Deontay, lives in Vegas. Like, I don't have no connection. Like, guess what? We can go do this tonight. Like, you know, yeah, it's fun to have connections in other places.
You gotta have a plug, man. I dig it. I am astounded because my man posted on his gram, like, what did it say? What did it say on Instagram?
I think it said something like "perfect day to crash a work luncheon."
A work luncheon. So I'm thinking you about to go like, you know,
one of ours.
You got all these people in town. I figure you about to go holler at one of these people with one of these moves. Just like, I'm gonna slide in here and go eat some of their food.
I can tell you one thing. Like, I know we probably don't have any younger listeners, but if you can get just a regular corporate job, nothing too fancy, and this time of year is great. There's nothing to do. Nothing to do. And every other day, somebody's having a lunch, somebody's baking cookies.
Somebody that mailed in a box of
we
Harry and David Pears.
Free cheesecake delivered like 2 days ago.
Oh, y'all got the juniors already?
Oh yeah,
Oh god damn, I missed that.
We have 4 left, and Nancy put them in the fridge that night. I don't know if they still exist.
Damn it, I'm gonna go look. One perk. I used to be like the assistant in the mailroom. Miss this time of year, cause it'll be times like that. It was just like, oh, we got an extra basket. I'm like, you want that? Then I was like, nah, I don't want it. He'd be like, don't tell nobody. Y'all find it out right now. I used to get baskets all the time. Be just put that to the side, and I'll have a basket to put on the table for Christmas almost every year. But now,
on the humble, Vanessa was like, is it Harry and David Pears all that? And I'm like, I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about them, and so I went and looked it up, and I'm like, oh, it's a Harry and Dean's basket. It's like $30. So I'm definitely gonna order that bitch for her, so for Christmas, so she can just have that experience.
Yeah, we usually get. I remember one year, like, and the wicker is nice on those.
Yeah,
like,
them baskets be like, they can last.
Yeah, like I still like every year I use one of those baskets, and I go to Target, get some new towels and like some soap and the Neutrogena like big ass pump.
Yeah.
I forgot how, but like we always
You just basically make a gift basket with the quality baskets you have in stock already.
Yeah, we always put like surprises. Like if I buy her something, we always put it on the toilet. Like, cause when she get home, she taking the beeline right in there. If I'm coming home, I'm going to the bathroom. It's like, oh shit, you got me something. Thank you. You don't put it in our bedroom. You put it right on the toilet where you can't miss it.
You close the lid, put it right there.
Yeah.
That is so dope, man. Was you like nervous at all? Or you just like, nah, man? I mean, once you get handed IDs and shit, I guess you're like, I'm in.
Like I was nervous about like them being mad if we got caught, but then there was no real vetting process. There was like we didn't have to show ID or nothing. I just told the dude my name, he wrote it on the paper, and then I got a free meal.
Now, where in here was it? Did you eat at?
Ruth's Chris, right downstairs there.
Oh yeah, but you said upstairs, downstairs.
Well, they had.
Is there layers to that building?
Yeah, because this building like is like kind of on a mini hill.
Yeah.
So like the way they built that restaurant, there's like a downstairs on the main floor, and then an upstairs like conference room.
Really? Huh. I would have never thought that little cube down there could put that work in. That's dope.
It was funny sitting in that room though, because it's all these people who are invited because they're all like some sort of import at their various businesses.
Yeah.
Like the kid who was sitting at our table, he had to have been like in his mid to late 20s, but he had like a Ganley Auto badge on.
Yeah.
So like he's probably like their account
IT director or whatever.
some shit. Yeah. But I'm sitting there and like the way my buddy had talked it up before we got there, he made it seem like it was gonna be all over our heads and we didn't have to like just stay quiet to like not get noticed and shit like that. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, this is just some old ass man giving like some like nervous ridden speech to these people trying to convince them to hire them to be their IT support.
Come on, old Gil needs this.
Yeah. I mean, it was just like, but it's like all the stuff they're talking about. I'm like, I work on that system. We have the same security protocols. I know exactly what this company is because I'm pretty sure it's the same company our company contracts.
Yeah.
I know this whole thing.
Yeah, I was looking like Case Western is having like a 24 week like coding class.
Yeah, I've been looking at it too.
Yeah,
I did some Visual Basic coding back in high school and like early college.
Yeah.
But I never did anything with it, and I'm sure shit don't remember any of it now.
Yeah, with the way the industry is going, need to find something else. I guess that's inside baseball, but I mean,
But outside the park.
yeah, like I just want to be able to be there for my kids, like and maybe try something else that's going to be more beneficial because, man,
You just all slide over to tech.
yeah, something else, or just doing porn again. So I don't know, or stripping.
Think they'll take you back?
They miss Chocolate Thunder out in these streets.
Oh my god! It is I don't know, man. It's just, I love this time of the year. It's too much important stuff to happen to me. I guess you know what I'm saying. My kid was born this time of year, so I am brightened by this time of the year, and I dig on that, man. I even when when it slows down to a crawl at work, and you start worrying like, man, it's looking terrible. But I don't know. My spirit is light for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying?
Like this time, I'm good. We've been laid off before. Like I know exactly how it is. Like, I mean, and this time I either get 10 years of severance or 16 years.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever they give me, I'm fine with it. Like, I just want to keep my nose clean enough to get my severance.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good. Like, I would like take that money and, you know, get ahead of our mortgage or something like that. Like, it would be more beneficial if I stay home with the kids or something like that for like a year. We would save so much money.
Just on sitter fees.
Just
alone.
like sitter fees alone, gas.
Yeah.
I mean, our light bill might go up a little bit, but hey, come on, we going outside. We're coming for an hour. But yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be more beneficial. I could probably go back to school or something like that, and I don't know. Like I said, strip is a good thing.
Yeah.
I could just be a bartender in a bow tie. It doesn't matter.
Can you make drinks?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Most of them. I need a rum and coke. Boom. I need this. Boom.
I don't know, but then they go ask you for like a.
With sex on the beach with the cherry.
I don't even know what's in the sex on the beach.
Hey, hold on. You need sex on the beach? Hold on.
It's probably some. You probably ask Google. You're right. In this day and age, bartender is probably the easiest thing in the world.
Sex on the beach. Vodka, peach schnapps, orange or pineapple juice, cranberry juice, creme de classic.
Creme de cacao.
Cassis. Optional.
Oh, it's optional, so I don't even need the creme de cassis.
I'm like, okay, what you need there? Because when you ask for a beer, they take fucking 5 minutes. I could look up.
That's true. It's like, there's some hoppiness going on here.
Yeah.
So.
Like, okay, baby.
All right.
Tried with Absolute. I mean,
Better question is, has Google made ordering drinks a better experience for people who like to drink? Because then they can be like, hey, I really want to try Blue Hawaii.
But see, that's the thing though. Like usually, it's one place. What's the one place on 4th Street called that specializes in having that big ass book? Is right next to the Vietnamese place we go to.
The Social Club.
Yeah, it's downstairs.
Yeah.
Now that place I can see. It's like we got these whole list of fancy ass drinks. You should know them.
Yeah.
But if I'm working at fucking Applebee's, I'm sure whatever they got is like, we got a special of the month. This is the special of the month.
When we had the department outing at Bar Louie a couple weeks back, the one guy ordered a Tom Collins, and the bartender was like,
You know what it is about that? That goes in a specific glass. It was known as a Collins glass. So it is some specific
Well,
stuff
see,
to
that's
that.
the thing, though. This dude who already has a job, the bartender, said,
True indeed.
But the funny thing is, too, like, the four of us standing there, we were all looking at each other like, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah.
Find me a Tom Collins right quick, and we're going to wrap this show up.
All right.
I just want to know what's in it.
All right, you do the outro, then I'll look up Tom Collins.
It was really,
You can go to liquor.com.
The thing about it, though, is like, and I know he listens to this show, so, yeah, Adam. We're all looking at each other like, of course, it'd be the guy with the suede shoes that ordered the fucking Tom Collins.
Keep your fans on. Well, hey, we do it every week. I promise you, I ain't missed one. I hadn't missed a single one in 2018. I don't have no plans of doing it no time soon, so it is what it is. You'd be good to go look up our Patreon and get a look at some other stuff. I'm literally about to put a show up probably tomorrow. No, probably Sunday. And I think about it, I got a Wheel Full Weekend over there. It's called We Tried. My man Lunchbox here hosts it. It's a really, really delightful show. You should probably be checking it out.
By host it, we mean I talk first.
He literally has to guide that show no matter what he says. Don't let him lie to you. And it's pretty dope. Tom Collins.
1 1/2 cups of ice, 2 fluid ounces of gin, 3 to 4 ounces of lemon juice, half fluid ounce of simple syrup, which is equal parts water and sugar. Yes, 1 cup. So I guess another cup of ice. I guess that's
shaker.
To put,
it's a shaker drink.
I think the first one is a shaker, and then 2 ounces of club soda, 1 lemon wedge. That seems really simple.
It's like a gin and juice with some water.
It's pretty much like a what's the sour drink?
Amaretto sour?
Yeah, except without amaretto. Instead of whiskey is gin.
Yeah.
That would do fine. I would remember that. Or just fake it like a Tom Collins show up.
That's Homie Lunchbox 2099. Think of some wintertime traditions my man might be able to set up for himself. You can tell it to him, and he's not made to force to do them, just in case.
But he can sleep in socks. That's a wintertime tradition you can start.
Fuck that.
See, there we go. That's the best part about tradition. You don't got to keep it.
That's Tatum 216.
Yes.
I think his traditions are pretty much set, so it's all to the good.
I'm still working on them.
You're developing. You're there and there developing. So if you have a suggestion that you think might do the damn thing, holla at him. I am the Understatement 713. You have just been podcast too, and I know you loved it.
Thanks. See you later.
Peace.
Hey, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful.